Wallace and welcome to FinextraTV. Kindly calling in to catch up with us is Claire Calmejane, CIO of Société Générale. Claire, it's great to have you on again. Thank you for joining us.
Hi Anna, hi everyone.
Really good to have you on. So yes, today we're catching up and I want to start by talking a bit about your role and how that's come along, because I know you head up the bank's global digital transformation strategy and also in charge of driving venturing efforts. So I'd love to hear a bit more about your role here and tell us what is SocGen's digital transformation strategy. Let's start there.
Sure, what a big question and a big job maybe. But this job was created back in September 2018, directly reporting to our CEO, Frédéric Oudéa, based on a recognition that most of the transformation had been led by IT, and we are quite advanced in cloud transformation, some areas of data transformation, but now was the time really to transform our business model. And so I have two priorities. The first one is how can we accelerate the transformation of our current businesses around retail area. So we have about 23 million clients in the world, in Africa, Czech Republic, Romania, France, where we have 3 different banks and an online bank, around wholesale, where we have leading activities in capital market, but also transaction banking activities, securitization and a lot of other ones. And our new pillar, which is around mobility, as SocGen have just announced that we are going to buy LeasePlan, which to combine it with ALD and to create a giant leader in the world around the B2B leasing. So the goal is to accelerate around these 3 areas in the business lens. And the second area is to create new business model to diversify at 5 years, at 10 years, the portfolio of activities of Société Générale by focalizing on digital business models.
Well, thank you very much for setting the scene for us there, Claire. I know by no means a small question, but it sounds like you've been very busy at SocGen. And I know that one of your biggest challenges in your role is tackling also those legacy technical infrastructure difficulties and also things around operational architecture. There are some problems there. So could you run us through maybe some of the challenges, but also in turn the opportunities involved in this space?
Yeah, so let's start by the opportunities and I come back on the challenges. But over the 3 years period, we had a great achievement first in retail, really to convert all our IT infrastructure and all the effort of investment into clear digital sales and acquisition. Today in Société Générale, more than 65% of our clients are active on digital. They connect in average 25 times a month through online or through mobile. And we have about 39% of our clients that are directly acquired through the digital channels and about 25% of our sales that are done currently online. So if you realize this number, and if we step back on 23 million customers, I'm saying that 39% of our new to bank clients are directly acquired through digital, which means that clearly there's been a shift in customer usage, there have been a shift in customer habits, and of course an acceleration through COVID around that. So that's the first really key opportunity that is there. And I want to say we are yet at the beginning because, we are still acquiring clients. There is still, opportunities to cross-sell and to do all this work. And we are yet at the beginning, even if we have done a big milestone so far. The other area of work was around AI and data. And here, the portfolio when I arrived had a lot of, data usage and AI, but it was, still a small value that was delivered. And what we managed to deliver this year is 250 million of value across the AI and data portfolio, which is quite huge, when you think about it and where we were starting. So how we are doing that is we are working with the business leader and with the CEO of the different entities to source with them strategic areas of use case. And then when one is taking up, now our goal is how can I put it across different business units? And I give you 2 examples. One is around fraud management. So obviously with the increase of usage of digital that I was mentioning just before, there is more and more digital payments. And we use AI in order to model prevent part of this fraud that could happen in digital payments, and to be there. And today, this AI is reused around different business units within the group. And is a significant value in the 250 million portfolio. Another one will be around, for example, predictive analytics, in order to better understand what customers are doing online or sales, for the sales process, to really personalize your experience and to move from the transaction bank to really a personalized experience that is closer. And what we are receiving as a feedback of our customers is really positive around it. Also, they are not perceiving it as the bank is chasing what you are doing. They are just saying, okay, it makes just my life simpler, and you are just more adapted than to my need and to my offer. And that's to some extent what you are seeing in the challenger and the banks and different areas. And this is solving for complexity in our legacy system, because all this new technology is only possible because we have reached more than 80% of our infrastructure in the cloud, and that we can really combine the cloud platform with some areas of having sorted out our data set and data quality, and being in the upfront part of how do we exploit the AI and encode it in the data strategy. And our third opportunity is around a startup and corporate collaboration. And here we've created SG Ventures 3 years ago. We invested 250 million, did 4 major acquisitions. I will talk about 2 of them, but we acquired a freelancer neobank called Shine, which have about 120,000 clients now that offer a pure online experience. And basically, we are putting this journey in our traditional bank offering, and using aggregation in order to directly offer you the opportunity to be Shine by Société Générale France, and that's solved for the complexity. And the other example I want to talk to you about is Trezor. Trezor is a bank-as-a-service fintech. It's a fintech of the fintech. I have about 80 clients today in Trezor in 4 different countries, and these clients are fintechs, are neobanks, and it's a fantastic laboratory to always look for the innovation, but always to solve also for the complexity of tomorrow.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for bringing us up to date. You certainly had your work cut out for you, and you also did a good job of highlighting the importance of partnerships there. So staying on that note, let's talk a bit about the digital ecosystem. It's one thing I wanted to touch on today. More of a broad question. What kind of evolutions and developments can we expect to see around the digital ecosystem, and what can we expect to see there?
Yeah, so I think, again, we are yet at the beginning. So we have been following, the innovation labs, the innovation theater, and clearly the space where we are in now at SocGen, but in most of the other banks I'm seeing, is that innovation is not really core to the bank strategy. And there are 2 aspects that are core to the strategy: innovation and digital, and the ESG revolution and transformation, which is even bigger, because to some extent now my work is at the service of this ESG transformation. And when I think about the future and the opportunities of the digital ecosystem, they are linked to that. So we're still going to a deep transformation of the financial infrastructure, and especially the payment rails. And we are seeing emerging trends around digital assets, and how much, globally we'll manage to tokenize, but also project around digital retail currencies that are going across the world, in China, in the US that is starting to have a strong regulation, and in France and Europe, where we started on wholesale, but we are also going further. And all this work, is going, it's not a 2 years work or 3 years work. It's more a 10, 15 years window, and maybe further. But this is in train, and this will continue. And basically, it's not mechanically going to change the revenue pool of banking or what banking is, but it's going to enable a technology layer, a technology infrastructure, which is just more simpler to do operation. And we have one of our startup, Société Générale Forge, for example, which is operating a security token platform on capital markets. And it's revolutionizing all the technology of capital markets that could be quite cumbersome sometimes to do emission and reception, to a full instantaneous technology that is based on the blockchain and completely streamlined. So just one example, but you will find several others on different areas. And the other big trends, I will come back on that, is around really ESG. And more, I see some of our investment is ESG ventures that are going towards ESG startup and ESG products. So, we've just announced one of our partnership with Intelligence, which is a US-based startup, which is facilitating some of the ratings and putting some standards around data and how do you capitalize data around that. And why is it important? Because banks are critical in the capacity to reduce the 2-degree scenarios worldwide and the climate change in order to do that. And I'm seeing more and more that we have requests from our financing businesses, but also from a social point of view around, okay, what can we do with technology in order to improve life of our colleagues, life of our clients around that. And obviously in governance, when you're working in a group of 132,000 people across 62 countries, having a governance which is more inclusive and with the future of work and etc., technology will be essential.
Well, Claire, we've covered a lot today and certainly a space to keep an eye on some really exciting developments ahead there. And you already touched on a few topics which we could have a whole separate interview on, but we'll have to leave it there for now. Thank you so much for calling in and sharing your insights today and also predictions. And it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.